Today I am going to be testing out these 5 crochet hooks, and I'm going to tell you which one is my favorite and why. I am going to be ranking them from 5 being the worst right down to 1 being my favorite. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started with good old faithful the Boye crochet hook. Hi, I'm Darlene and this is Heartfelt Crochets. This is where I research, I study, I share, and I teach all things crochet. So at the end of this video, if you found it to be helpful, please subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Oh, and if you'd like to become a member of my channel, I would absolutely appreciate your support. Just click on the link in the description box below or go over to the main page and just click join. All right, so like I said, this is good old faithful Boye crochet hook. And this case contains a whole bunch of different crochet hooks. For years, this is what I crocheted with. This was my crochet buddy, this little case. These tiny ones, yes, I used them. I used these for doilies, and these I just used for everyday regular crochet for other projects other than the really fine projects. I do love these crochet hooks, but since I switched, I don't know. Kind of curious to see how they work now because I haven't used them since I switched over to the ergonomic handles. So I'm really kind of curious to see how this test is going to come out, and where the Boye crochet hook is going to rank. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with this. So I'm using 4 different types of yarn today. This one is Red Heart Super Saver number 4 worsted yarn. Premier Basix number 4 worsted yarn. Parfait Chunky by Premier Yarns. This is the yarn, this is a chenille yarn that I always use for my amigurumi projects. And this is Cotton Sprouts, also by Premier Yarns. As you can see, I absolutely love everything Premier. I'll go ahead and, as usual, leave that link in the description box below if you want to go on over and check their yarns out. Very affordable. But I wanted to use these different types of yarn to see if the crochet hooks act differently. So like I said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with the bamboo. I am going to make a chain of 10 and then I am going to crochet 1 row of single crochets, and we'll see what I think. We're going to start with the Red Heart Super Saver. The first test is going to be with this Red Heart for all the hooks. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what happens. Well, as we can see right off the bat, it's catching on something and it is splitting the yarn. So that is a big no-no, as it's wood. So it's almost like it probably has little splinters, I guess. I'm not even going to use this because it's going to tear my yarn up. We are going to go ahead and totally exclude this bamboo hook. I don't know if it's just the brand. Maybe other, more expensive bamboo hooks work better, but this particular Lion brand bamboo hook ranks the worst right off the bat. Horrible, horrible. Not even going to continue with that one. So let's get rid of that. Okay, so next we are going to be using the Boye, because this is the crochet hook that I have used forever, all of my life, until they came out with the ergonomic handles. And as you can see, since I've been having problems with my thumb, I hold my hooks like a knife, like I'm cutting something. I used to hold it like a pencil, and that's how I always crocheted until I started having problems with my thumb. So I am going to go ahead and I am going to test both ways. So right off the bat, I can tell you that this one is not very comfortable holding it the knife way, but I did still find it very comfortable crocheting the pencil way. I'm trying not to think about any pain or pressure in my thumb because that's a personal thing. If there was nothing wrong with my thumb, I would still use these for certain projects that I would end up holding, like for doilies and stuff like that, I'd still end up holding it like the pencil. I did find that it moved okay. It's not extremely smooth. I wasn't able to go fast using this because there is a little bit of a drag, if you will. And that ended up bringing back some memories of when my hands would get sweaty from the yarn. Once the hook got really sweaty, forget it. There was no moving this thing. You had to go wash your hands, clean this with some rubbing alcohol before you could continue. So that was the one downfall about these Boye hooks. Okay, so we'll put that one aside and we're going to move right on to what I have been using, what I feel to be very comfortably for the past couple of years. So again, I'm just going to do a row of single crochets. Okay, so like I said, I've been using this for the past couple of years, and I find this handle still to be very, very comfortable. And crocheting it this way, it's okay. Every now and then I will go ahead and I'll just switch back and forth just to give my hands a little bit of a change. But this one is definitely more comfortable holding it the knife way. There's a little bit of fetching, but not bad. It's pretty smooth, but you can feel the little bit of a fetching. I like the length of the metal part of this crochet hook. So all in all, I still really, really like this Yarniss, and it works for me. Next, I am going to try the Clover Amour. Okay, so love it. The handle is pretty much the same as this handle. It has the flat part here for you to place your thumb. Very comfortable both ways. What I am really, really impressed with is the smoothness, the way that this just glides. There's no fetching, just as smooth as butter. I cannot believe the difference between, so you can feel a little bit of a fetch, and this one is just so smooth. I believe the only con that I would find out of this one is the length of the metal part of the crochet hook. If you put the two together, you can see how much shorter one is than the other. And I like having, maybe it's just because that's what I'm used to, but I like having the room here for the play when I'm crocheting a stitch. This one here has less room. You don't have much room. But I suppose that's just getting used to. Wow, this goes so smooth. I am really, really impressed with this. Okay, so let's go ahead with the Addi and see what I think of this one. Comfortable handle. I do like the handle. Okay. It's a different type of a metal than these other ones. You can see the difference in the color. This one's more like this one, but you can see the step down of the different types of metal. This one is still smooth, but you can hear the drag because of the different type of metal, but that doesn't hinder it from its performance. A comfortable handle. I'm going to go ahead and try it this way now. Okay, so far I would have to say that this one is my favorite. It is very comfortable both ways. It gives me, holding it this way, it gives me the same feeling as this one, only I end up being more comfortable because it's not so thin, but yet, you know, I don't have the bulkiness. I don't know how to explain it. I just really love the comfort of this handle. Again, the only con that I would say is the length of the metal part of the hook compared to what I am used to. But this one isn't as bad. It's a little bit, just a hair longer than the Clover Amour. Definitely something that I can get used to. I think that's just all in the preference. I really, really love this one. So I would have to say that using the Red Heart Super Saver yarn, that this is the order that I would rank them in. Let's go the other way. The Boye being number 4. The Yarniss number 3, the Clover Amour coming in at 2, and the Addi coming in first place. Now let's go ahead and try the Basix Premier yarn and see if that makes a difference, because the texture is different. I find that the Premier Basix worsted yarn is much smoother. The texture is much softer and much smoother than the Red Heart, so we'll see if that makes a difference as far as the drag goes. So we're going to go ahead and start in the same order. Okay, so I am going to say that this one hasn't changed much from the Red Heart Super Saver yarn to the Premier Basix. This one still has the same exact review. So next I'm going to go ahead and we are going to use the Yarniss. Okay, so the only thing that has changed is it is a little bit smoother working with the Premier Basix than the Red Heart. There still is a little bit of drag. The comfort's still the same. So this is still ranking the same. As of right now, this is still ranking in at number 3. Okay, so now we're going to try the Clover Amour. Again, I'm not finding a huge difference between the two yarns other than there's a little bit more speed because there's a little less drag. But with these two compared to each other, again, this one is much smoother. And again, it would just take getting used to for the length of the middle part of the crochet hook, but that's just a personal preference, like I said. So still no difference between the two worsted yarns. And then the Addi. Okay, so I'm actually finding this metal to have a little bit more drag with the Premier Basix. I'm not exactly sure why that is, and it doesn't seem to be going as smooth as it did with the Red Heart. And my speed wasn't very good, so I am going to rank this one, changing spots with this one. I'm going to rank this one as number 2. And rank this one as first place when it comes to using the Premier Basix worsted yarn. All right, moving right along, we are going to go ahead and start working in the rounds, just as though I was making an amigurumi project with this chenille yarn. So let's go ahead with the Boye. I would not recommend using a Boye crochet hook or all metal crochet hook as far as that goes. Either way you hold it, I'm just not finding it working really well with this chenille yarn. So I'm going to move right along to the Yarniss, which is the one I've been using for the past couple of years. Now, I already know how this one feels as you go because this is the one that I've been using for 2 years, all right? So I don't really need to go any further to tell you what I think of this one. I find it to be very comfortable. I think that my speed is okay, but where this one is so much smoother, I am really anxious to see what this one does. So let's go ahead and just move right along to this one. Now, see, because of the shortness, I'm so used to having a lot more play when I'm crocheting. Because of the shortness, my hook is pulling right out of the stitch. But that's just going to be me getting used to not pulling it back so far so that it just wants to pop out. But already, right off the bat, wow. This one is so much smoother. I am really looking forward to doing my amigurumi projects with the Clover Amour. But let's not forget the Addi. We still have one more to check. So again, I slowed down a little bit. I think it's because of the metal. It was nice and smooth, but yet it wasn't nearly as smooth as the Clover Amour. The comfort of this handle is still amazing, but for my amigurumi projects, I do believe that I'm going to stick with this ergonomic handle. So I am actually ranking these ones different on this time around with the chenille yarn. The Boye, again, coming in number 4. The Addi is coming in at number 3 this time. The Yarniss at number 2. And the winner of this particular yarn is Clover Amour. Absolutely, definitely first place when it comes to working with the chenille yarn. Last but not least, we are now going to be checking out what these hooks do with this cotton yarn, working in the same order. I do find that this one works better with the cotton yarn overall, if comparing how this one works with the 4 yarns that we are using, definitely works a lot better with the cotton yarn. The only con, again, is in memory when this hook gets sweaty and it's not as smooth. It does, you can see, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but there's like little divots which make it a little bit rougher with the movement, which makes it a lot worse when this gets sweaty. So that really is the only downfall of this hook. I really love the way that this sits in the hand when working with this cotton yarn. This is how I would end up working my project using this pencil hold. But we have not tried the other ones yet, so let's go ahead and with the Yarniss, sticking with the same order that we've tested all the other ones. Alright, so it's a little bit more difficult working with the cotton yarn with this ergonomic handle. A little bit of drag, not bad, definitely a lot better than the Boye, and I slowed right down in using this one. So let's go ahead and let's try the Clover Amour. So this one, again, I am really, really loving. This works so nice with the cotton yarn as well. My speed picked right up in using this one. It was nice and smooth, and I really think that I can get used to the length being shorter of this metal part because I just love this hook so much. So now let's go ahead and try the Addi with this cotton yarn. Okay, so this one works well, but I slowed right down again. And again, the handle is really comfortable. This metal, there's a little bit more drag than the Clover Amour. So I think I'm going to go ahead and I am going to rank these a little differently. This one coming in at 4 once again. This one just doesn't seem to do very well. All in all, this one is in 3rd place, the Addi coming in 2nd place, and then the Clover Amour coming in 1st place on this one, just because of the smoothness and the speed. You get your project done much quicker. So out of these 4, we started off with 5, but this was an ixnay right off the bat. Get rid of that. So it was between these 4. It was the Boye, the Yarniss, Clover Amour, and the Addi. Good old faithful works good for a lot of things, and it still would if you were in a tough spot and just needed to use a crochet hook. So this one came in last. So sorry, Boye. Though I have been working with this one for 2 years, I'm going to have to say that this one comes in third because of the drag that it has. I still love the comfort of this handle. And my speed slowed down with this. I didn't realize how slow I was crocheting. I thought my speed was okay, but this test proved otherwise. This one is a little slower. The Addi coming in second. I really love the way this handle is. It's very comfortable in using all 4 types of yarn. The metal, though, I'm a little questionable. Not quite as smooth as it could be. And I slowed down quite a bit when using the cotton yarn and when using the chenille yarn. So it works really, really good if you're going to use worsted yarn. I probably will end up using this one most often now with the worsted yarn. So this is coming in at second. Coming in first place is the Clover Amour. Speed is important when it comes to crocheting projects. Smoothness is extremely important. No snags, glides like butter. I mean, you are going to be really, really impressed with this hook. Comfortable ergonomic handle. I am absolutely loving this right across the board with all 4 types of yarn, especially with the plushy chenille yarn. So I really, really am looking forward to making some amigurumi projects with this one. So Clover Amour, guys, I am going to leave a link in the description box below to all of these crochet hooks as well as the yarns. Let me know in the comments below which ones you have used, which ones you are going to try. And until next time, bye.